who told his daughter she had her mother's eyes, said he wasn't lonely even though he missed his daughter. He had his job and his friends. He watched the Patriots and went to church and threw office parties. Natasha wasn't like her father. She didn't have any friends. When the cowboy walked out of her life, she'd lost the only friend she'd had. Natasha liked the class she was taking the spring after the cowboy and the little woman and the Irish setter moved in together. Creative drama and dance was offered through the theater department and was required for education majors. The course focused on the use of drama and dance as types of educational tools. Natasha was especially fond of the dance portion of the class. She enjoyed the way the music entered her body and rooted her someplace else. Her childhood, perhaps, when her mother would sway behind the steering wheel to the melody of a song on the radio, and her fingers would tap out the tempo as she drove. Her voice would sing off key, and Natasha would change the station. Then her mother would swat her daughter's hand and laugh and change the station back. Natasha wondered if her mother had been swaying to the music and singing off-key when she slid on the black ice and crashed into a guardrail. While paramedics rushed to the scene, Natasha waited to be picked up from her 7th grade CCD confirmation class at St. Mary's Catholic Church. Natasha didn't own a cell phone then, and everyone else at the parish had already left. She thought her mother would be arriving soon, and continued to sit on the curb beside the parking lot. She finally gave up waiting when her fingers began to turn numb and decided to walk the 7 miles home. After 30 minutes, she saw Papa Gino's on her right. She went inside and asked to use a phone. A patron overheard her and said she could use his. She dialed her mother's number, but the call went to voicemail. Then she called her father. He picked up on the first ring. "Oh, God. Oh, God." He was crying. He said he was sorry. He told her he'd be right there. The creative drama and dance class was supposed to end at 9. It often let out early, and Natasha would stop by one of the clubs where a local band would be playing. She'd ordered a margarita and find a seat somewhere toward the back of the room. She'd drink her margarita slowly to make it last, and let the music loosen up something inside her, all that brokenness that she'd never paid much mind to. She'd find hope on those nights, a brief levity, like a rising tide that would carry her east along Interstate 90 to the exit for Highway 12. She'd head over the Highlands, a 50-mile stretch, to the small apartment she'd yet to call home. As she drove, she'd hum tunes from whichever club she'd been at and imagine a life different from the one she had. Maybe she'd marry a teacher, or an electrician, or a dentist, like her dad. These were Natasha's thoughts on that cold Wednesday evening in early December. She'd been listening to music at the Top Hat on West Front Street. She'd even ordered a second drink. She'd liked the band that was playing. After she'd listened to the band and had begun to make the drive to Helena, she'd felt her sadness lift more than it had on previous days. By the time she took the exit for Highway 12, it was later than usual for her, just past 11, and there was little traffic, only a solitary vehicle here and there. That was why she was startled when a truck came up behind her and flashed its lights. She was a couple of miles outside the little town of Elliston, with about a half-hour more to go to her apartment. She thought the driver behind her might want to pass, so she slowed down and veered onto the shoulder. But she'd forgotten about the warmer temperatures that day. She hadn't anticipated how soft the shoulder would be. Her right front tire sank a good several inches and then began to spin. Within seconds, her back right tire was spinning as well. The truck that had been flashing its lights had